The vision behind floating cities for climate refugees. Floating cities are emerging as a potential solution for climate refugees displaced by rising sea levels and extreme weather events. These cities would be built on water, offering resilient, sustainable living spaces for displaced populations. The concept combines innovative urban planning with advanced engineering to create adaptable, self-sustaining communities that can float above the water, mitigating the impacts of climate change. Designing the floating infrastructure. To build a floating city, the infrastructure must be able to withstand harsh maritime conditions. This includes modular platforms made from durable, buoyant materials like reinforced concrete, steel, or sustainable composites. These platforms should be connected in a way that allows for expansion, mobility, and adaptation to environmental changes, ensuring that the city can grow as more refugees are accommodated. Harnessing renewable energy for sustainability. Sustainability is a key factor in the design of floating cities. Solar panels, wind turbines, and tidal energy can provide renewable power to the city, reducing its reliance on fossil fuels. Energy-efficient systems for lighting, water purification, and waste management are essential to minimize environmental impact. This self-sufficiency in energy will be crucial in providing a stable living environment for climate refugees. Water and waste management systems. Efficient water and waste management are fundamental components of any floating city. Desalination plants can provide fresh water by converting seawater, while greywater recycling systems can ensure that water is used sustainably. Waste management solutions should include composting toilets and waste-to-energy systems, which will minimize pollution and maintain a healthy environment for residents. Designing floating homes and public spaces. Housing and public spaces in a floating city must be designed to maximize comfort while maintaining functionality. Floating homes should be weatherproof, energy efficient, and space optimized to accommodate families. Communal spaces such as schools, markets, and health clinics should be integrated into the design to foster a sense of community. The architecture should also consider cultural preferences and promote social inclusion among refugees. Adaptability to rising sea levels and environmental changes. One of the most critical features of floating cities is their ability to adapt to rising sea levels and extreme weather conditions. Floating platforms can be engineered to rise and fall with the tides, ensuring stability and preventing flooding. In addition, the design should account for the impact of storms, heatwaves, and other environmental changes, providing refuge to climate refugees even in unpredictable conditions. Implementing mobility and transportation solutions. Transportation within a floating city will require innovative mobility solutions. Boats, electric ferries, or even underwater tunnels can connect different parts of the city, allowing for efficient movement of people and goods. Additionally, electric vehicles and bike-sharing systems can reduce the carbon footprint of transportation and contribute to the city's sustainability goals. Legal and political considerations for floating cities. The creation of floating cities will require navigating complex legal and political issues, especially in relation to maritime laws and territorial sovereignty. Countries must collaborate to establish frameworks for the governance and regulation of floating cities, ensuring that climate refugees' rights are respected. Legal systems must be adapted to manage resources, maintain order, and guarantee the safety of residents in these novel communities. Funding and collaboration for floating city projects. Building a floating city prototype will require significant investment, with funding sources likely to include government bodies, international organizations, and private investors. Public-private partnerships will be essential for providing the financial backing necessary to design, build, and maintain these cities. Collaboration among scientists, engineers, urban planners, and governments will ensure that the prototype meets the needs of climate refugees while being economically viable. The future of floating cities for climate refugees. Floating cities represent an innovative solution to the global crisis of climate-induced displacement. With the continued rise in sea levels and the increase in natural disasters, the need for sustainable, adaptable living spaces will become more urgent. By developing and scaling floating city prototypes, we can create safe, self-sustaining communities for climate refugees, offering them not only shelter but also hope for the future in the face of climate change.